Hi, and welcome to Wrong Way. And today we are going to talk about what EUC manufacturers need to improve in our beloved EUCs. So let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. Okay, so here I have a list of 20 things noted down, jotted down, what I would like to see improved in EUCs. Some of them are just ideas and things that EUCs could have potentially in the future. Some of the things are regarding the process of manufacturing EUCs, and some of them are also really important and crucial to EUC safety. And if you also have some ideas how to improve EUCs and what could make them potentially better, then feel free to comment below and share your opinion in the comment section. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. Number one on the list is screens. And some manufacturers already did that to some extent. The best version of a screen is naturally on the veteran Sherman, where you can set up multiple things without even needing to access the phone. And it's really easy to see the battery state, the speed you're currently going, and other features on the screen. I think that the addition of a screen is great on a EUC. It just increases the functionality a lot and you have all the options in just one blink of an eye. So I think that the addition of a visible screen in future EUCs is really essential and would help out riders a lot. Number two on the list is a small idea of mine, namely glove boxes. I mean, EUCs don't have like any compartment at all. I mean, that's what also makes them small, but I think that a small pocket or a small box somewhere in the EUC to hide your valuables or just a small compartment would be pretty cool. The next thing I would like to see is built-in chargers. So if you make a longer trip, you're certain to take a charger with you in the backpack, but I think it would be cool if a 3 amp or 5 amp charger would be actually in the unicycle. So you just need to take a cable with you and then charge it up. Naturally, it also would have to be safe and safely mounted in there, have all the overcurrent protections and all the electricity protections. But as we saw, for example, on the Ninebot Max scooter, you just need a cable there to charge the scooter up. I think this would be a welcome addition to an electric unicycle. Number four on the list is, please, EUC manufacturers, stop releasing EUCs with lower foot plates. It's not a good idea. It's not good for off-road. It's not good for turning. The only good thing is a bit of a better balance, but I think it's not actually worth it. I have pretty low foot plates here on the Tesla V2 and on the veteran Sherman. I will probably sometime in the future also get a lift kit for the veteran Sherman, because lower foot plates just decrease the maneuverability and the fun factor of EUCs, in my opinion. Number five on the list is speakers. And probably you're wondering why it's now suddenly dark and the angle changed a bit. Well, my camera didn't record the sound well because the small mini jack just went out of the camera and I had just bad sound, so I couldn't use the footage that was recorded earlier. I have to re-record it now. Video recording issues. Anyways, I think that speakers are a very nice addition to EUCs, although I think they're not really like as necessary as other things, because first I thought that, you know, I won't buy a EUC without a speaker, but now I'm like, well, could be there, would be nice, like on the MSP, on the EX, but it's not really a deal breaker because you can still buy an additional speaker and then hang it on your backpacks. So even though I think that speakers would be really nice to see in every EUC, especially that you can also hear alarms there, music or whatever else. Number six on the list is tire change. And if you ever change the tire on an electric unicycle, you know it's not that easy. Currently, what you need to do to change a tire in a EUC is you need to first get the covers of the EUC, then unplug the battery, unplug the motor wiring from the motherboard, get the screws out of your L hanger, and actually on both sides of the wheel, so you need to get the other cover out as well, then lift up the cover and get the whole wheel out. And then it's also not that easy to change the tire because tires are a bit stiff, especially the bigger tires on EUCs, so you need a bit of strength to get the tire off then. Now, to improve that, I think that a splitting tire isn't not the best solution. Like a splitting tire you have sometimes on smaller e-scooters. This would decrease the safety and strength of the tire, but what could be there is an easier system to just get the wheel out of the shell. for example, a all-in-one module that you disconnect to instead of getting the separate cables out of the motherboard, and maybe some other process that would make the tire change possible even without getting the shell, unscrewing the covers. But the easiest solution for now would be just some sort of module, so you don't need to tinker with the motherboard. I think that's one thing that is pretty scary about working on your own on a EUC. With the experience of reassembling and disassembling a couple wheels, I would do a tire change now by myself, but if I wouldn't have done it before, probably I would just send it off somewhere and then the service would do the tire change. Sometimes I'm just lazy also, like now when I accidentally damaged my MSX when working on it, and the service will fix it and also do the tire change. Number 7 on the list, I would like to see some short circuit protection on wheels. And in a couple of instances where I was using or tinkering with Begode wheels, I had a short circuit. For example, when a small part of the charger fell into the charge port and there was just sizzling in the charge port, I had to take it out. Or one moment water came into the charge port, it came to a short circuit and then I just fell off the wheel. It was during the rain. And the same thing happened on the Begode EX. Some water came into the wheel, it was a short circuit and the wheel just basically turned off during riding. So I think that there should be some sort of better BMS system also for balancing each cell in the battery pack, and also a short circuit protection to protect from fire, to protect from cutoffs and other things. For example, on the Veteran, when you connect the battery pack to the motherboard, there's no spark, which is the case, for example, on Begode wheels. So anti-short circuit protection would be a nice add-on to our wheels. Number 8 on the list is, finally, I think we need better charge ports, especially on the 100-volt wheels. Now, InMotion and Kickstands have Lenovo ports on most of the wheels, which are fine. When they're covered, it's also quite difficult to get something inside there to create a spark or something else. But the GX16-5 ports are, in my opinion, quite dangerous. It should be changed for either a XLR port or a port that, for example, Ryan has on their scooters, or a XT9D plug, like something that is just safer than these bolts just sticking out of the charge port. And the charge port location should be also on the side, not on the top Godway, like on the EX, the RS19, and the Monster Pro, because it's just really easy for stuff to fall in then and just create a short circuit or just damage the wheel. Number 9 on the list is better lights and reflectors. And although we've seen a big upgrade in the light department in pretty much all of the wheels this year, especially the V11 with its really nice, not blinding beam, really well angled, and a daytime running light, we also saw the really powerful front light of the Veteran Sherman. I think there still needs to be some improvements in this department also on other wheels, on Kickstands and on the other InMotion wheels, and a daytime running light would be also a really nice addition to all electric unicycles. I think a good addition would be also reflectors on the sides or on the front, so you're more visible when a light is shining onto the electric unicycle. I added some reflective tape on my Sherman, and it really does help out and makes me more visible in the night. Number 10 on the list is better screws. Jesus, the amount of screws I broke in EUCs is just huge. Especially like soft metal in the InMotion. I always use the same tools for opening up wheels. It would be just great if all EUCs would use hex screws for most of the shell. Please just stop screwing into the plastic with a wood screw. It's just wrong. Don't do it. Like, if you get the screw out and then in again, it won't hold as good as it was holding when it was once in. So please use better material, harder material for the screws. Stop using wood screws and instead just put threads everywhere where you need a screw. And yeah, just use hex screws instead of Phillips screws. I think it's just better. They're more reliable, more durable, and yeah, just stop with the wood screws. We had enough. And don't just drill through the shell to the outside. Begode, okay? Number 11 on the list is kickstands. And we've seen a kickstand last year on the InMotion V11. Even though it was really easy to top over the V11 when it's on its kickstand, I think it's a great idea, and the addition of a maybe more sturdy kickstand on other wheels would be great, because sometimes there's just no wall where you want to just lean the unicycle. against the wall, or sometimes you just want to make a nice picture without the wall or without the pole in the way, and it's sometimes not me in the picture. Number 12 on the list is better rims, more durable, more sturdy rims. It's quite easy to get a bigger rim damage on a EUC, especially with a low tire pressure. I think that a different rim material or a different process like you see on bikes, you know, a halo rim would be pretty cool on an EUC, and I still don't get why all of the rims that we see on EUCs are just, you know, metal. I mean, they're heat conductors, which is great, but I would really like to see a EUC that has spokes, like a bicycle. I think that would be really cool and would add to the strength of the wheel itself. Number 13 on the list is very important in my opinion, because we need to upgrade the smaller wheels. Like for real, InMotion, the V8F is really not just an improvement to the V8, it's sort of the same wheel. It has just different pedals and a slightly teeny tiny bit bigger battery. I think that the V8F, the V5 in InMotion, the 14-inch wheels by Kickstands need a general overhaul and a new model. Like, come on, it's been time. With better lights, with better performance, better build quality, and just newer components. I mean, it is time. Luckily, we've seen a cool upgrade by Begode in the MCM5 V2, which is now a great community wheel, and they really done a decent, really good job in upgrading this wheel. Oh, and of course the V10, I think it also needs improvements, as well as the 16-inch unicycles by Kickstands. The Tesla V3 is now a totally different animal. Let's just see how the Tesla V3 will perform, but it's just, yeah, I think you just needed to put a wider tire inside of the wheel and higher pedal hangers, and the Tesla V3 would be perfect. And a tail light, like, oh, I won't even. Number 14 on the list is alarms and safety, and maybe a GPS location service in wheels. If I go with the veteran somewhere and I want to just lock it on a bicycle rack, like, anyone can turn it on and anyone can do damage to it, even by accident. I wish there was some sort of system in all wheels where you could just lock it and it will make an alarm when somebody touches it. For example, this is the case in Kickstands wheels if you want to turn it on. I think the InMotion also has that, but I think it would be the best if it would also include the movement of the wheel, and this would set off an alarm and possibly also a notification to your phone. It doesn't even have to be GPS, but most importantly, just an app notification via the internet, so the wheel would be connected to the internet if you want to turn this feature on, and then you would just know if something happens to the wheel. Because for now, I just don't leave the wheels outside. I mean, I always take them inside, but sometimes you just want to leave it outside because you just use two hands in a shopping mall. Number 15 on the list is cases, and we have already cases for wheels or shells, for example, the fiberglass shell by Mono Customize or EUCU, or the case by Roll.NZ, or maybe even the InMotion has a soft shell cover for their wheels. But I think it would be great if there will be like a more hard shell with some sort of hard rubber case by the manufacturer that you could buy for a veteran, for, oh yeah, please, for a RS and other Godways. I think it would be just a great addition to keep your EUC safe, like you get cases for your phones as well. Number 16 on the list is a freestyle EUC, and I think that Fanimus also requested something like that. We need a EUC that has maybe not folding foot plates, has a really strong shell, has no bling blang in terms of RGB and speakers, just, you know, maybe a light in the front and a tail light and an on-off switch. That would be enough. And a charge port. We don't need more. And just a really torquey motor that is good for jumps. Maybe also a adjustable tilting angle. That's actually what's new in the Begode app, if you didn't know that. And I think that the EUC community overall needs such a freestyle, robust, easy to maintain wheel. Number 17 on the list is a bit more technical. Please stop using these 21700 LG cells. Now, I know they're cheap. That's mainly the reason why you use it, but their parameters are really not that great. LG M50T. You see these cells mostly, I think InMotion V11 uses them, and the Kickstands as well, the LG cells, and also mostly the Begode wheels, the 100-volt wheels. So the problem with these cells is that, number one, they don't have such a high discharge. Samsung cells have a way higher max discharge. And number two, their performance is really limited when it comes to cold weather. So their performance drops like 3 times or even 4 times when the temperature is below 10 degrees Celsius. And I think a lot of us also ride in these temperatures. So this might be an issue which leads to a cutoff, to a power limitation, or other things, or even damaging the battery unit because you just keep pushing it so much. Please stop using these cells, start using Samsung cells or other cells that have better parameters, especially in cold weather, and a higher max discharge. I think that EUC riders would be more than happy to use better cells and cells with bigger longevity than just save a couple $100 on production. Number 18 on the list is, I think, very important because it's the overpower safety and the alarms or the notifications that happen before you would have a cutoff. Now, what we have available for now is the beeps, alarms via the speakers like on the InMotion and Kickstands, and also we can connect apps like DarknessBot or EUC World to notify us when we go a certain speed or we reach a certain amperage output in the wheel. What I would like to see is maybe a haptic notification, like vibration of the pedals maybe, or a sudden small tilt back, or I don't know, pedal dip that would notify us if we are about to overpower the wheel, or some sort of other safety mechanism, maybe like a wireless diode module you could put on your helmet that lights up, because too many people just don't hear the beeps and fall, or people just overlean the wheel and the wheel cuts off. There needs to be something done to make wheels safer in this department. Number 19 on the list is 120 volt wheels. Like, we had 100 volt wheels for a while now, we had 84 volt wheels. Where's the 117.4 volt wheel? Where's the 130 volt wheel? Like, it would be great to see some more performance as well, even though we have a lot already. But the appetite keeps getting bigger for speed and performance, so I think that a 120, 130 volt wheel would be a really, really cool wheel to ride on. And number 20 on the list, finally, I think probably the most important point on the whole list is quality and quality assurance. Please, manufacturers, don't rush out wheels and don't just make something that is being beta tested by riders. It is our safety that is on the line, and I think there is not enough responsibility by the EUC manufacturers by producing wheels that have either a too small battery, Kickstands, which are really easy to overpower. Now, the S18 is a good wheel when you don't push the acceleration too much, but for heavier riders, it's really dangerous. InMotion and Begode, why did you use such bad bearings? Why didn't you seal them? Like, there needs to be more research done before you put out the wheel. And Veteran, you just use 2 small cables at first that will melting. Do some more beta testing, possibly use more rigid parts instead of too fragile, cheap parts. And I think that the community will be very, very happy about this. Okay, so these are the 20 things. Now a honorable mention as well to Begode, which still cannot fit a locking trolley handle to any of their wheels. Like Veteran has it, Kickstands has it, InMotion has it. Begode, please put some sort of a button that locks the trolley handle in place. The thing that it just goes down by itself is very bad. So these are the things that I would like to see, but we have also come a long way in electric unicycles, and I think that electric unicycles are the fastest evolving electric devices in the PEV market. We have the highest voltage, we have great app support, the pedal hangers don't break anymore, and I think that overall wheels are really, really innovative and also really great products. But there's a lot that needs to be done still, and I hope that EUC manufacturers listen to our ideas and will make better wheels in the future. So, if you're still here, leave a like on the video, subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video. See you soon. I never did that before. Now I need to go to the camera. Yep, it was that far away.